Hey everybody, so we're going to be doing this video just a little bit differently. Now, before we had a bunch of different videos, now I'm going to try putting it all in one. If you don't need each and every single problem, we're going to have timestamps in the description below, so just go to the one that you need. There's also title cards if you just want to like scan on the video slider. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so here we are, first problem. Now, I've got a little bit of a mix between decimals and fractions, but that's okay, because decimals and fractions are just the same thing. Okay, I'm going to start top left with strategy. Yesterday we did the number line. If you want to do a number line again today, you can. Okay, but I'm going to do a different strategy. Okay, now, with this strategy, okay, I'm going to first add my whole numbers together. Those are my bigger numbers out in front. The number in front of the decimal and the number in front of the fraction. So it would be my 3 and my 2. Okay, those are my whole numbers. If I add those together, I get 5. All right, now I'm going to worry about the back numbers. I've got 0.5. Okay, now 0.5 is actually like 0.50. Okay, or you can think of it like 50 cents. Okay, it is half of a whole. This fraction right here, this is also a half. Right, so you could think of it like half of a dollar. Okay, so if you have two of those, you have one complete whole. If this right here is a half and this is a half, if I put two halves together, then I'm going to have one complete part. So if I put these two together, I just get 1. Okay, now I can just combine my numbers right here, 5 plus 1, and then I get 6 in total. All right, now this isn't exactly what you're going to have, but fairly similar. Okay, now for a measure or a visual, I went ahead and used money. Okay, I've got $3 over here, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimes. So it's like $3, 5 dimes, the same as 3.5, okay, or 3.50. I've got $2 right here, and I've got a $half right here, a 50-cent coin. Okay, if I put all of these together, I'm going to get $6. Okay, I'll have 5 right here, 50 here, and another 50 here. That makes 6. All right, now for a story. Okay, I'll tell you guys a story about Haha. All right, now Haha is a very lucky kid. One day, he was rolling around. He had $3.50 in his pocket. Okay? And as he's rolling around, he goes to the playground. When he gets to the playground, he finds $2.50. Okay? Now, once he gets that money, he picks it all up, counts it all up. He finds out he has $6, and he goes over. He shows his girlfriend Anna, and Anna takes all his money. It's very sad. Okay, explain how you know. Now, explaining how you know, okay, again, we can just use repeated reasoning. I got the same answer for my visual as I did in my strategy. Okay, I double checked it on a calculator. All of that stuff works for this problem. Okay, so wrap it up. On to the next one. All right, boys and girls. So now we have our rule of 4. Okay, now this is a little bit different than yesterday's rule of 4. Okay, yesterday we were already given an expression, or I should say an equation. Okay, and then we had to create a table and then a graph and then double check our answers and then put down the pattern. Now we're given the table. Okay, now if we're given the table, okay, this right here, this is like your x coordinate, and then this is like your y coordinate. That's what you're going to be using to graph. Okay, now let's use this to graph this first. Okay, now since this is my x's and these numbers are pretty small, I just went ahead and I put down my chart right here for however many numbers I have. So I went 1 through 6 right here. These numbers get kind of big, okay, but this is kind of like my y. So C is like my y. All right, now I can't fit 30 on here using these normal size tick marks, so I made them go by 5, just so I could squeeze it all in there. Okay, so for 0, 0, I plotted that right here. 210, I went over 2 and then up to where my 10 is. Plot that right there. 4, I went over 4. Remember, the first number you always go over and then you go up. And we go up 20. And then 6, we go over 6, and we're going to go up 30. That is my function. That is going to be my line. Okay. Now, lines we always read from left to right. Now, from left to right, this thing is climbing, so this pattern is increasing. Okay, so already for our words, we can put the line is increasing, but by how much? We still got to figure that out. Now, here's the tricky part. All right, now when you're looking for the equation or you're looking for the expression, okay, and you're given a table, you have to look for a pattern. Okay? And once you find the pattern, you have to come up with your own problem of how you can put these numbers into a problem and get these numbers out of it. Okay, so right now, since C is my Y, everything is going to be equal to C. Okay, now here, if I take a look at it, it looks like for every 2, I go up by 10. Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to assume that for every 1, if I look at the points in between here, for every 1, I'm probably going to get 5. So it's probably not crazy to think right here, you don't have to rewrite anything, but this is just so I can express what I'm thinking here. Okay, so in between here, I have 1 and 5. Okay, then I got 2 and 10. Well, 3 is probably matched up with 15. Okay, so for every 1 that I go up right here, it looks like I'm going up 5 over here. All right, now how can I put that into a problem? Well, it's kind of like we're skip counting. If we're skip counting, then it's pretty much like we're just multiplying by 5. Okay, so I'm going to do 5, and it has to be times whatever we're getting. That would be P right here. So let's check it to see, or let's check our equation to make sure that it works. Okay, if I put in 0, 0 times 5, well, I'm going to get 0 out. Okay, so far the problem's okay. If I put in 1, okay, 1 times 5, okay, well, I get 5 out, so the problem's still okay. I get 2, put in 2 for P, 2 times 5 is 10, so that's okay. Well, let's try the rest of them. 4 times 5, that would give me 20. 6 times 5, that would give me 30. So this problem matches up with this table. Okay? It's kind of like you're going backwards in what we did yesterday. Right? Think about the problem or the table that you're given and then try to come up with your own problem for this. On to the next problem, we got Betsy here. She's writing 1/5 of a page in 1/15 of a minute. How long will one page take? All right, now this is just an example of the word problem that you guys got, but I think a pretty easy way to do this would be to keep track with a table, kind of like how we did yesterday. Okay, now I'm gonna need to keep track of pages, and I'm going to need to keep track of the minutes. Okay, now, when she first starts off, she's writing 1/5 of a page, and then she writes for 1/15 of a minute. Okay. All right. Now, another 1/5 is going to pass. So she's 2/5 of the way done with a page, and she's 2/15 of the way done with her minute. Okay. I'm going to keep going. 3/5. 3/15, and all I'm doing here is I'm adding another 1/15 and another 1/5 on this side as the pages get bigger and as the minutes go. They're both going up by the same rate. Okay, so pages 4/5. Page is almost done. I got 4/15. Okay. And now I got 5/5. So my page is completely done. And then over here I got 5/15. over 15. Okay, so when this page is completely done, this one over here is, or we have 5/15ths of a way through our minute. Okay, so it takes 5/15ths of a minute. Now, we're not completely done though, because we can actually simplify this just a little bit. Okay, I noticed that I can divide my top by 5 and I can divide my bottom by 5. So we can simplify. If you see stuff in common between the numerator, the number on top, and the denominator, the number on the bottom, that you can divide that out, just so you get something that's a little bit easier to look at. Okay, so 5 divided by 5, that is going to give me 1. Okay, 15 divided by 5, that is going to give me 3. Okay, so final answer, it's going to take, or for one page, it will take 1/3 of a minute. Okay. All right, that's it for this example. Let's go on to the last one. All right, I've got a sample problem that's a lot like the one that you're looking at for the climbing steps. Okay, and it goes something like this. The temple at the top of the pyramid is approximately 26 meters tall. Okay. There are 81 steps leading up to the temple. How high above the ground would you be if you were on the 42nd step? All right, so that's a lot of information, but pretty much all we're trying to figure out is how high is the 42nd step. Now, in order to find this out, I need to find out how much each individual step is. If I could figure that out, then finding what number 42 is won't be that big of a problem. Okay, now I've got 26 meters. That's how tall it is. Okay, if you're looking for a rough estimate, this is a bit more than 80 feet. Okay, now I've got 81 steps leading up to the top of this thing. So in order to figure out how much or how many steps or how much each individual step is, I'm going to be doing some division here. Okay? And I'm going to divide 26 by 81. Okay? If I do this, I'm going to figure out how tall each individual step is. Now, let's see here. 81, that doesn't look like it's going to go into 26 very easily. So I'm going to put a decimal here, put a 0 back there, put a decimal here. Okay, all right, and I feel like I am only gonna go, if I do go over, I'm probably not gonna go more than 3 decimal marks. Okay, and if I do go past 3, I'm probably gonna round it down to the 100th place, or 2 decimal places. Okay, now 81 will go into 260 about 3 times, and that'll give me 243. Okay, I can't subtract there, so I need a bar over here. That's going to give me 7. 5 minus 4 is going to give me 1. 2 minus 2 is going to give me nothing. Okay, I'm going to add another 0 back here. Okay, now I'm going to bring this 0 down. I get 170. I'm going to get 162. This goes in 2 times. For here, I can't do that, so I'm going to borrow 10, 2, or 10 minus 2 gives me 8, and I get 6 minus 6, which is nothing, 1 minus 1, which is nothing, right? 8, or 81, or I'm sorry, I forgot to add a 0, drop it. 81 doesn't go into 80. Okay, so I'm going to add a 0 here. Okay, now I can add another 0 back here, but remember I said I was only going to go over 3 decimal marks, or decimal places, I'm sorry. Okay, and if I did go to 3, I was going to round it back down. Okay, now I have a 0 right here, which means even if I round this, this is not going to change. So my answer is pretty close to 0.32. Okay, per step. All right, so this is how much one step is. Okay, well, shoot. Now I need to find 42. Well, if I wanted to, I could add 0.32 42 times. But as you guys saw that yesterday, that took a really long time. So instead of adding 0.32 42 times to figure out how tall it is, I'm going to use multiplication. And I'm going to do that over here. Okay. So I have 0.32 times, I want to figure out what number 42 is, so that's how tall I'm going. Okay, and now I'm just going to use normal multiplication procedures. 2 times 2, that's going to give me 4. 2 times 3, sorry, that's going to give me 6. Okay, I'm going to put a placeholder right here as I move over here. 4 times 2, that's going to give me 8. And 4 times 3 is going to give me 12. Okay, add all of this up together. 4 and the 0 make 4. 6 and 8 make 14. This makes 3. 1. Okay, but I'm not quite done. Since I multiplied with decimals, there's a rule. I mentioned this a couple times in class, but just as a refresher. However many decimal points I have right here, or however many numbers I have behind my decimal, I count them. I have 1, 2 numbers behind my decimal. Okay. Now, if I'm starting from right here, I don't have any more numbers behind my decimal, so I'm going to move this over 2 places because I had 2 numbers behind my decimal. So this goes 1, 2. My final answer is 13.44. Okay. Now, I forgot to put that these were meters. Okay. So, final answer, 13.44 meters for this example. Not quite the same as yours, but you could follow the same steps and arrive to the same answer. That's it for today, guys. Tomorrow I will post an update aside from my day 3 video, okay, about what's going to be going on from here on, or yeah, just moving forward. Okay. Take care. See ya.